And I'm here today to reveal to you a very serious problem that we are encountering in our world today. And I think it may actually be AI, artificial intelligence, if it is not an actual orchestrated hoax or some kind of secret communication being conducted by um, people who are plotting to destroy the world itself in the apocalypse. So, what I'm going to show you today is something very unique, and I'm going to try to explain it all as the best that I possibly can in an on the fly manner because none of this is scripted like many of my other shows. This one is being conducted live and recorded live as it is. But I can tell you that what I'm about to show you is something that I only recently discovered, maybe by accident. But I know that it is a discovery that I will truly be able to say has been, and forthcoming, and that what I'm going to show you on this podcast video is something that is occurring on the internet. Now, I am going to bring up my browser. I'm going to maximize it so you can see it. This is my browser. Now, right now, currently I have a button that says refresh stories. I'm not going to press this button. But what I have noticed is a pattern of stories that appear early in the morning on the internet. Now, these stories come from a variety of sources, but I had the inclination to look at the title of these stories as a kind of statement or question that required a comment or a response. It's not so much the story itself that you must be responding to, but it is the statement being made that is the title, which requires a response. Now, this one, for example, here's what made the 1935 Ford half-ton pickup truck so unique. Now, there are a few more comments that have been added since I responded, but I responded to this. Let's see if my comment is still visible, because one of the unusual things that helped me to uncover this pattern is that I would make a comment, it would be accepted, but then I would come back to the story and look at it again a little later, and my comment would be deleted or it would be moved to a non-visible place in the comment list. Now, maybe that just means I'm not popular, but it could mean something else. It could mean that there is artificial intelligence involved in what is happening here. So, here's what made the 1935 Ford half-ton pickup truck so unique. And the comments, I'm going to open the comments. It's story by, I don't even know if that's even a real name. Might not even be a real person. It doesn't matter. All right, so my comments are not visible. Now, maybe not visible because at this point there have been more responses since my response, so that they always keep the new ones on top. But let's click. Oh, well, here's what I can conclude from this is that my response has not been deleted. Okay, this is the response that I put in 4 hours ago. There is only one thing about any Ford that people need to know. The name means fix or repair daily. Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Now, my response in this regard is to say that as a type 2 diabetic, I have to take drugs every day. Because if I don't, my blood glucose levels will get too high and I could die from a heart attack. Because high blood glucose levels will cause brain aneurysms and heart attacks. It's as unpredictable as high blood pressure, which I also take medication for. So, here's what made the 1935 Ford half-ton pickup truck so unique. There's only one thing about any Ford that people need to know. The name means fix or repair daily. And my response is, yes, I do fix every day. I take medication for my ailment every day. Now, that might not be so significant to anyone who is just seeing this one, but there are several articles that I'm going to show you that have a variety of different hidden meanings that I believe are being created by artificial intelligence. All right, let me go to another article. All right, the Scoop article. What does it mean if you remember your dream when you wake up? I responded to this one because there's a comment section available. Let me see if my comment is still there, because I think I had a very interesting comment to this one, which I'm probably going to need to explain once I find it, if I find it, because some of my comments have been deleted when I went back to look at them. Let's see. Here's an interesting sign. All right, see more comments. Oops. Close that. See more comments. A lot of people have been responding to this one. Everybody likes this article for some reason. It's by Sarah Scoop. Well, maybe she's a very popular writer. I might have to actually read the article, but there was a response that I gave to this article. Just the same. If I can actually find it, just hang in there with me. Now, this one is really popular. And I'm not reading any of these comments at the moment. Oh, here I am. Now, I recall this at response. I was having a lot of difficulty writing my response at first, because I think it was too complicated, or I had too many letters or words or something. So I had to kind of give a short version of the response. But I originally had a much longer response, and it wouldn't let me post it. So I had to go to the shortest version of the response that I could and still have the same meaning. And what I say is, it means you are still asleep. What does it mean if you remember your dream when you wake up? It means you are still asleep. It means ultimately that you have not yet woken up. You're still asleep. If you remember your dream, you're still not quite awake. Because dreams are, these are ideas and thoughts that you have while you're asleep that quickly fade upon reaching consciousness. And it takes a lot of effort to try to remember a dream. So it's not that it means anything, right? Because I often do wake up and I remember quickly a dream, or the dream that I was having. And I don't think it means anything if you remember your dream, but it could mean that you are still asleep. So maybe that was why I had to shorten that response. The response I was trying to give wasn't accurate. That's the other thing that I discovered about how to respond to these hidden messages that artificial intelligence may actually be creating as titles of these stories. Now, the stories they're just nonsense. They got somebody out there. There's somebody out here. They're writing these stories. Now, I've seen where stories can be written by artificial intelligence. You just give it a few parameters, and then boom, it'll create the story. You tell it, this is the data set. Boom, it creates a story. I'm not kidding you. All right. So one other alternative answer for this question: what does it mean if you remember your dream when you wake up? Other than it might mean you are still asleep, it could mean that there is something important about your dream that you need to remember. Because sometimes our dreams will try to tell us, that's our subconscious trying to tell us something. And something that our body knows, something that our soul knows, that our conscious mind needs to know more about. So a lot of times these dreams are just images and thoughts that, a phrase, a sentence, a picture. There are a lot of different things, but it ultimately means that there could be something significant about that little bit of memory that is all about letting you know something that you need to know. So something you need to know. Very important concept here, and that is actually a title of one of my poems that I've read on the internet in the Quest of Cyclops and Raymond's Revenge sequence called America is Lost. In the America is Lost podcast series, there was a chapter or episode in that series, in the second part of the series, where the title of the reading, the poetic reading to music, it is actually, there is something that you need to know. So another possible answer to this question is that if you remember your dream when you wake up, it means that there is something that you need to know. Because something about your unconscious mind is trying to tell you something in a conscious thinking state, so that you will be able to potentially take action on that message. Because you inside of you, the person that you are, you need to take care of yourself. And your subconscious mind and your conscious mind are all of what your body's energy is trying to use to help you live your life successfully. So what does it mean if you remember your dream when you wake up? It means that your subconscious mind is trying to tell you something that you need to know, because there is something that you need to know. All right, let's take a look at another one. This is an advertisement. I typically, toilet paper roll under the seat. That's some real nonsense. I don't even worry about investigating those. I am a sniper in U.S. Army, and Hollywood doesn't show you the hardest part of my job. Now, this particular answer, I'm going to tell you that my answer, my response or comment may have more than one interpretation, particularly since I am a military veteran, and that I served in combat theater for a year in Afghanistan, so I know what life is like as a soldier, and I can only imagine the kind of things that a sniper would have to deal with. But there is something significant that is the hardest part of the job that Hollywood never tells you about. Let me see. It might have been deleted because I'm not. Where is it? I'm not seeing it now, and I only got 30 minutes of recording time. I'm at 1347. 30 minutes available of recording time on this software, but I am not seeing my response. But it would have been right in here because I remember this one. I think I remember that one. Thank you and your team. I don't know. Benjamin, they show the hardest part would have compromised the whole deal. Duh. These are all good responses. I like them. I don't know who these people are, but they're all probably veterans like myself. And we all got some attitude, baby. I'm not kidding you. As Americans who suffered in combat zones in response to 9/11, we got some attitude. We got some serious attitude, and especially with what happened in Afghanistan after Joe Biden took office. That's really given us some attitude. Now, my response appears to have been omitted or is currently being hidden. Now, the reason that my response is currently being hidden or it has been omitted by artificial intelligence, which may actually have a live intelligence in the background making decisions about what becomes available over here to an audience. I can tell you that my response may be considered inappropriate for the general viewing audience. It was a bit on the side of inappropriateness to say what I said. Now, at this point, because this could potentially, for me, be a violation of my non-disclosure agreement with the United States government. I may not be able to retell my response now because I do not see it here in the list. All right, so let's just say that I had a response, and the data from this observation shows that it has been either deleted or hidden from public view because it says something that the AI later determined was not appropriate for a general audience. Okay, next one. History is sacred. Now this one might very well also, my response to this one might very well also have been hidden, removed, or deleted, because I also had another, and check out the news source. What was the news source on the other one? Business Insider, all right, and NBC News, all right. So my responses to articles from those two outlets, and you also need to consider who these questions are being posed by and what it refers to, the type of people who work in these from at these sources and what their views are, right? So if I make a response that is contradictory or upsets the personnel that have the view associated with this outlet, they will cover it up. All right. So I had a response to this one, and I had difficulty posting this one. Now this is a video. Now the videos have a particular type of flavor of response. All right. Now when you are typing response in the video screens, you cannot see what you type. All right. So at least I can't, not through this browser. When I go to type anything, it's like blank, and I have to be like, I have to type it perfectly before I submit. And then once it submits, if it's accepted, then I get to see all the mistakes I made because I'm not that great of a typist. I'm gonna see if mine is available. See more comments. Now, 2 hours. Whoa. Now this is a problem with videos. It wants to scroll. And it wants to scroll, and then you gotta like start all over again. So, all right, let me just try to whiz through here real quick because this thing is like, it'll like rotate to the next comment very quickly. It's designed to like not give you much time to scroll through very many of the responses. There it goes again. All right, now I don't think I'm going to successfully find my response, but I'm going to tell you what it is and what it was. Let me go back to because I can remember, and it was a response that I'm going to just preface by saying that there will be some people who out there, some audience members out there, who may consider my response to be racist, right? Especially considering the picture of a black woman on this. And that has a purpose of inducing a particular type of response. I'm going to go back just a few pages to show you what I mean. This right here, this truck, this 1935 Ford half-ton pickup truck, is very similar to the 1936 Dodge pickup truck that my dad owns. Now, my dad owns it's fairly dilapidated. But he owns a vehicle that is similar to this. So my interpretation of this is that someone out there knows something about me, that I may actually be under surveillance, and that all of what this is about is to determine if I can understand the communication that is being made here by this artificial intelligence. All right, history is sacred. Ruby Bridges blasts attempts to cover up history as her books are banned. Now, my response was something to the effect of, and I'm trying to recollect this because my response was 4 hours ago, and I've done a lot of writing and thinking since then. But my response was, tell that nigga to shut up because God made all of us. All right? Tell that nigga to shut up because God made us all. Even though we may be different species, God made us all. So why can't we just get along? All right. So that's a demonstration of how NBC News could potentially be a racist organization that has the attempt to promote racial distress in our society by creating this type of artificially intelligent quest to make people think racist response or racist responses. Okay, so this is potentially an attempt to brainwash the general public by very subtle means. All right, I'm looking at my time. I got 21:44. I may be able to get to one or two more. Oh, well, now here's a good one. Maybe this one is still there, but I easily remember this one. Common foods that are illegal to grow in your backyard. Now, there weren't very many responses when I wrote my response, so mine's buried in there pretty much. And I'm not going to sit here and scroll through all of them because I really don't think I'm going to be able to get to it. But this is not a video. Oh, here it is. All right. So luckily we got mine. All right. This is me. My response is foxglove. It is also called digitalis. It can be poison or it can be medicine. Use it wisely and it may prolong life. Use it foolishly and it can kill you. All right, I want to show you a picture that pops up here about the time that I read that just now. And this is by design. That's what my response is about. That's what my response is about. I'm not really talking about foxglove or digitalis. I do, and it can be poison or it can be medicine, but marijuana can be poison or it can be medicine. Use it wisely and it may prolong life. Use it foolishly and it can kill you. So right now there's a lot of science out there that talks about how this plant may actually be medicinal, but it's medicinal the same as like foxglove, which is also known as digitalis. It can, in a small amount, it can lower your heart rate and keep you from having a heart attack, especially if you're at the point of near cardiac arrest because of arrhythmia. But it can also stop your heart in the wrong dosage and kill you. So that same is true of, in a sense, the same thing is true of marijuana. It may be able to, help with some illnesses so that you may live longer. But if you don't use it the correct way, it can actually lead you to an early grave in many different ways. Right? So the point of this is counting my pennies. Now, I want to say that I often or have in the past done research on these news outlets to try to drill down to, well, who are these people? What are they talking about on the internet? What's their deal? All right. We saw that NBC News and they're trying to promote racial unrest in America by showing us all kinds of crap. And then you got people like this, which are trying to say, hey, there's more truth to be known than what all of these other liars in the world are trying to tell you with their fraudulent stuff. Okay. So I'm not going to go down here, but the name Counting My Pennies may also cryptically refer to Count Your Blessings. Okay, even though they may be small ones, count your blessings. Count all of your blessings. If you are trying to save up, if you're trying to save your life, you need to count all of your blessings because they add up. All right, let's go to another one. I think I'm running out. I mean, I can do some editing and end up with more than 30 minutes overall. But now I do have a response to this one. I have Now, this is an advertisement. And from my point of view, it's just an advertisement. It's fake. Anything that pops up and says AD, it's fake. I did write a response to this one, and I wrote a response to this one, and this one. This is an ad, so it's fake. What's the egg block meeting? This one is blocked. Now, I'm not sure why this says Jerusalem Post, but I can tell you that there are no comments being allowed on this. Now, this has a specific type of protected post, and maybe I just spend the rest of my time that I have for this recording just saying briefly something about this, and then I can also start a new recording and pick up where I left off. So this is going to be a kind of a transition point in this series. I'm going to just say that I watched an Israeli briefing, an IDF briefing on the news, and at the end of their briefing, they began to ask people for responses, and I can say on that particular day there were none. So the truth is, they may ask for people's comments or responses or questions, but the reality is they give a shit what you think right now, because they believe the people who are in Israel, the Jews, and the Iranians, both most likely, believe they are right and the other is wrong. So they don't care what you think. They only care about what they think. And that's the point of it. That's why you can't make a comment, because they don't care what you think. They don't want to know what you think. But I will tell you, you need to think for yourself about what I'm showing you. Okay, well, I'm going to come back and do another episode. We're going to continue this day's discovery. I will probably do as many of these episodes as I can and publish them as quickly as I can, so that the world can get a heads up on what's about to happen, because this truly is the Apocalypse Countdown. Hey, thank you for listening. I'm Michael. Have a nice day.